County Council Candidate Podcast, designed to inform voters of the upcoming August 8th primary election. I'm your host, Cheryl Matsumura, and I'm joined here today by James HUSTACE, the incumbent District 9 candidate, who's running unopposed.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you. Aloha. Thank you for having me.
So when you first learned that you'd be running unopposed, what was your reaction?
I guess there was, I had this conversation with my wife many times, and I think leading up to that filing deadline, there was some relief, I guess, in terms of the amount of energy that goes into a campaign. Looking back 2 years ago, we really put all the cards on the table. We knew that we were challenging an incumbent who had 16 years of experience in the State House, so we knew that there was a big hurdle at that point. So coming to this time around, 2 years later, it was amazing to kind of see that, there wasn't any sort of big challenge, but it's still an important commitment to be out there in community and show engagement and the reason for running and reason why for representing the communities. And at the same time, I can really understand the energy that goes into sitting in the role and then also trying to seek the role at the same time. And we just came out of budget season for the council, so that's a lot of energy goes into the budget itself and looking at the mayor's budget, making changes, adjustments, appropriations, those sort of things. So coming into that season of the year and then running a campaign is a hardship for a lot of individuals. So it's this interesting time in the year when that happens, for sure.
Yeah, so looking back on this term, what's the one accomplishment that you especially are proud of and want residents to know about?
It's been a very productive year, I would say, for District 9, and I'm grateful for my staff and the office, my family for their support. We've had good success in the budget for 2 years now in terms of appropriating and identifying key projects, regional projects for the Kohala District. Anything from our road infrastructure to park infrastructure. So that's a whole conversation in itself about the budget and the opportunity to amend the budget and provide the mayor and the administration different ideas and a different way to approach regional challenges and opportunities in the Kohala districts. So on the terms of the legislative side, I've really moved forward on co-sponsoring legislation and working collaboratively with my colleagues on the dais to push forward on policy, co-sponsor a number of bills from naloxone requirements at bars and nightclubs. We're kind of in that public health and safety realm. Also, key projects on tax relief for our homeowners and longtime residents, anywhere from our kupuna farmers, also to our Hawaiian homesteading partners and properties there in DHHL. I just introduced a new bill earlier this month on Aina Kupuna dedication. So this is a model based off of the Maui efforts a couple years back now, but really providing that property tax relief for long-time generational families and properties on the island here. So excited to see where that goes. We just had another reading at committee yesterday, 2 days ago now, and are moving it forward through council for a couple readings there, and hopefully it receives some good reception and engagement with community going forward on that. And then related to the budget side of things, I've really been looking at how those tax policies will impact our revenues as well as what we want to deliver in community. So definitely co-sponsoring and working with my colleagues on more of a progressive tax policy and providing some relief for our longtime homeowners, but looking at other avenues with our high-end residential properties about how we can kind of balance our taxes and provide relief for those that have been here a long time.
Great, thank you. So I'd like to ask you about your leadership style.
Sure.
What values guide your decision-making, and how do they shape your approach to serving on the council?
Oh, thank you. It's always I look at this role from my time growing up in Waimea and being raised there and engaging with community and really building upon that partnership and that collaborative approach when it comes to problem solving, when it comes to issues, and trying to find a solution through teamwork. We know we not all agree on the intricacies of the issues, but if we can find some solution where we can work together, that's definitely an approach, and really taking that community-minded approach about how we deliver on these issues. What does it really mean to the residents of the community? How is it received? So taking these ideas from community, working with community, bring it to the council, bringing it back to community, see how it fits, and get some reception from community and some input. So it's for me, it's a constant kind of, you deliver on an issue, but how does community have an opportunity to weigh in on it beyond opportunities to testify at council? Because sometimes that's a place where community doesn't always have an opportunity to go, right? It's a hardship for some during the working day and working hours. So for me, it's also having those engagement opportunities in community conversations, community meetings, and providing updates and kind of getting a pulse of the community about how these policy changes are feeling in community. So it's definitely a collaborative approach with my colleagues on the dais, finding solutions that way, collaboration with community, and really working through those analytical approaches about how this best affects or impacts our community.
So you spoke a little bit about budget.
Right.
And Finance Committee. So the county faces significant financial challenges, including a projected budget shortfall in the years ahead. When resources are limited, how will you set priorities? And would you consider raising taxes or fees to maintain essential services?
Yeah, and it's the budget is definitely going to be a tricky place in the years to come, and we talk about this regularly at council, about the impacts we see, particularly around the investment and the substantial investment we need to make as a county. And this relates to our wastewater improvements primarily. That's been kind of sitting at the table for a long time. It's something that we as a county have not tackled, and we should have been tackling through all these years. And now that time's coming where that bill is due, where we really have to take on this big, substantial investment of funds into our municipal wastewater systems. And that's going to have a big impact on the rest of our operating budget and the rest on how we deliver on our capital projects. Myself, I've been, these past 2 years, very active in the budget in appropriating very specific projects. And of course, that raises the amount of dollars and appropriated dollars in our capital project list. But it's a struggle to deliver on those projects at the same time because of the substantial investment in wastewater projects in Hilo, in Kona, and then the Ka'u region as well. And the Kohala District, District 9, unfortunately will not see any of the direct impact and benefit from those wastewater projects and those improvements. So it's really been incumbent on myself to prioritize regional projects, work with the departments, work with the administration to see that these are avenues that we also need to take. And some of them are big projects. Some of them are investments in walkable communities with regards to the Waimea Trail, in regards to gymnasiums and park facilities and emergency shelters, roadways in the Waikoloa Village, and working with the Department of Water Supply to increase their investment in our water infrastructure in the Waimea area. At the same time, working with the Pu'oko community. They're one of our priority 1 districts under the Department of Health, State Department of Health, to improve wastewater treatment in the area, limiting the impact on our nearshore reefs and our reef systems there. And so working with them, the community-driven efforts there, and pushing that with the mayor to see we also need to deliver on some of these rural communities, that this large investment in Hilo and Kona is not benefiting all the residents across the island. So we have to find other avenues. And so working through the budget, working with administration on the budget, trying to find other avenues about how we deliver on these things. I had good success this last budget cycle working with the administration to finally deliver on a captain's position for the Waikoloa Fire Station. This is something that the department and the community's been asking for a long time, to have a full contingent and a full complement of firefighters in the Waikoloa Station, a very high-risk community. So I see that as a big success in terms of that budgeting process. And yes, we need to invest those public dollars to deliver on some of these things, because at the same time we're providing community safety, a proactive approach to mitigating risks, and delivering on other infrastructure. It will also benefit our housing initiatives if we can partner these pieces and really deliver on public investment on infrastructure. It will really support a lot of our housing needs as well in the region. So it's going to take a partnership, though. So I'll take, for example, the Waimea Community Emergency Shelter, which is a new project, and it sits at the Waimea District Park. It's something long been worked by the community, and that's going to take a collaborative approach to bring that across the finish line. So it's going to take county resources, and I appropriated $7 million in the county budget for our county portion. The state's going to put up $5 million, and then the community's going to put up another $5 million. So it's really this layering of capital and putting different pieces together. And I look at a lot of other projects that same way, about how do we match funds from different sources to really deliver on these projects.
Yeah, it's a real art.
It can
All
be.
very important
Yes.
Accomplishments. So in regards to government and effectiveness, what is one county process, policy, or regulation that you believe should be improved or modernized, and how would you go about that?
I think some of the delivery and the transparency of government is always an area where we can improve. I give a lot of props to our clerk's office in trying to find an opportunity to expand our reach with the work that we do at council. And so in the delivery of our recordings, of our videos, and outreach into community to kind of really show the legislative aspects of council and the work we do on those daily basis, really, and deliver through those council meetings. So that's always an opportunity, and I continue to work with the administration on that, the same aspects for our boards and commissions. Some of them are very critical to how community engages with the county and deliver on planning aspects, on housing, on parks, all these different things that is an opportunity for community to engage. And so we have an opportunity to really provide more of an open space forum in that vein.
Mm-hmm. So housing has been top of mind for many people.
Right.
And affordability remains one of the biggest concerns for our residents. What actions can the county realistically take to increase housing opportunities while preserving the character and resources of our communities?
And some of that I shared about the affordability side and the cost of living, and I've been very engaged and proactive in taking those steps. I'm looking at our tax policies. So that's definitely one aspect of how the county can reduce some of that burden, right? That's a mechanism that we have at council. And so we did address that, and I have those active bills, particularly the Aina Kapuna dedication, and one's in the past year here now. But in terms of cost of living, I mean, that there's a substantial investment we need to make on our water infrastructure. Mm-hmm. So take, for example, our Waimea community. We have reservoirs that sit above Waimea. One reservoir has been non-functioning since after the 2006 earthquake. And so that's a conversation that the administration's having, Department of Water Supply, to invest in those systems, because those are those key pieces that are limiting individuals from actually building an accessory dwelling unit on their property to house family, to keep family and community. And those are those limiting factors about our infrastructure is not kept up with how we want to see community. Community members are leaving, so there are all these other cost of living things as well too. But we have an opportunity to invest that infrastructure to provide those options for families.
Mm-hmm. So you've mentioned a lot about our infrastructure and our infrastructure needs, and one of our questions here is we face major infrastructure needs, including federally mandated wastewater improvements, aging facilities, roads, parks, public buildings, which you've all touched on. How would you prioritize these investments and decide where taxpayer dollars are spent?
We are bound by the administrative order of consent. So some of them have legal ramifications for our wastewater projects. So those, working with administration, those are definitely priority projects. Mm-hmm. But we also need to look at communities at risk too. So if we look at the Waikoloa community and the wildfire risks in that region, those are, in my personal opinion, those are areas that we need to tackle, and we need to deliver on infrastructure investment into communities that are growing substantially. They're projected to grow. We look at our long-term planning documents. We're projected to see doubling of those communities, and so we need to make substantial investment to match that growth and provide a safety mechanism for those communities and mitigate some of those factors.
Well, thank you. I wish we had more time to talk
Absolutely.
about this. Thank you for taking the time to share your message and vision, and good luck with your upcoming term.
Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate the time today. Mahalo.
Mahalo.